I'm not a big proponent of faking anything. Obviously, I don't script anything that I do on this channel, and I have a really strong background in art, and um, so my bachelor's is in art. I went to the School of the Art Institute. Wow. I went to the School of the Art Institute of Chicago for a year during undergrad. I also went to Kansai Gaidai University in Osaka during undergrad, and I studied art history there, um, in addition to doing a bunch of art over the course of the 4 years that I studied in my bachelor's. I also got a second major in Japanese, which also requires you to bring some, I mean, any language requires you to bring some of yourself to it. You can fake uh, communication, but you can't fake connection. And this channel is about connection. I'm not sure if you thought that it was just about, I don't know, just a coach trying to pimp their business. But like my whole purpose for coaching is to build connection and to help people build more connection with themselves, with the world, and with other people. And what we have the risk of losing our authenticity. We have the risk of losing our authenticity when we curate things online. We have the risk of losing our authenticity when we try to make our body look like a different body. We run the risk of losing our authenticity when we let someone else tell us who we should be or how we should identify or how we should talk about ourselves or how we should talk or what we should say or what we're allowed to say and not say. All of those things are shaping whether or not we show up as ourselves in the world. And one of the biggest problems with AI is that if you are filtering everything that you think, everything that you are trying to research or learn about, everything that you write, everything that you think is beautiful, if you're filtering that through AI, you are not the first point of contact for these things. You're letting something else decide and become a filter for you first and then feed you the leftovers. Like a baby bird, you're just eating the regurgitation. Is that healthy? I don't think so. So I'm not a big Jung girly. I don't know a lot about Jung, but I know a little bit about shadow work and the shadow self. So these are all the things we try to hide about ourselves and the sides of ourselves that we don't necessarily like and try not to engage with. But when we try to suppress our shadow side, it usually comes out. And what I've learned, finally, I've discovered, I had an epiphany one day. The way people show up online is either like earnest and genuine, and they would say, this is, I am putting a version of myself that there are many facets to me, but this is one where I feel comfortable sharing with others. Um, and then there's like this thing that happens where people are like really hostile, really critical, really judgmental, really tribal. And I would say that that is their shadow self showing up on the internet. So, like, basically, everything bad on the internet is the shadow side of humanity. That's what's showing up. So, when you're like, why the fuck is everyone so fucking insane on the internet? And then I talk to them in real life and they're normal, they're fine. Well, that's because they are showing up as their shadow selves on the internet. So if you get some crazy comment from someone like super hostile or super racist or whatever, that's because they feel comfortable for whatever reason showing up as their shadow self rather than their true authentic self. Some some version of them they feel shame about in real life, but they have no problem bringing that out on the internet. And so, like, all the horrible things that happen on the internet, like the worst sides of humanity, that's the shadow side of humanity showing up. It just exists. So obviously it's not going away, and we just have to deal with that. We just have to deal with the fact that that is part of living life, where some of our presence is online and we have some engagement with the online world. Of course, you're always welcome to opt out. You don't have to be on anything. You don't have to be on LinkedIn. You don't have to be on Instagram. You don't have to be on any of the meta bullshit. You don't have to be on X. You don't have to be on Threads. You don't have to be anywhere online. You can still fully exist in the world with no online presence. You can also get rid of your smartphone and get a dumb phone. There are some dumb phones that still let you use like GPS and texting and all of that stuff, but they don't have, you know, as many apps as you can fit on a phone. They don't have that. So there are ways to continue to opt out and to try to force yourself to live more in the real world. But it is also always good to do kind of like a self check every once in a while. If you do use social media, am I showing up as the person I want to show up as? Not am I curating an image for people that will make them think that I'm better than I am? Not that, because then you're not living authentically. But am I comfortable with who I'm showing up as on the internet? And if you're not, what can you do to make some changes? Maybe you change the direction of the types of posts that you normally engage with, but also that you post yourself. Maybe you stop using filters on your face and your body. Maybe you change the creators that you engage with, full stop. Maybe you stop consuming things that make you feel bad about yourself or make you judge others. Maybe you stop consuming news that you know is biased. Maybe you focus on people who have the same values as you. So like if you are not a huge consumer, maybe you're not watching unboxing videos. Maybe you're not watching like what I bought at such and such store videos. Maybe you're not watching like, here's how I transformed my entire look. Maybe you're not watching that type of content because it actually doesn't align with your values. I'm going to keep talking about social media and how we engage with it because it is such a part of society now. And I think it has good potential to connect people within reason. And then it has a lot of potential to just poison everything, poison your state of mind, poison your worldview, and make you less healthy, less resilient, and sadder. And we don't have to do that. We don't have to engage with the apps the way they're designed to be engaged with. We can limit how we use the apps and just like make different choices based on actual conscious decisions.